Pack your bags and we'll take you around the world and back and inspire you to explore. We'll take you for a holiday in Egypt, Australia, Ireland and Thailand when Explore takes you backpacking through some of the world's most perfect destinations. If backpacking through the harsh Australian outback is your idea of a perfect holiday, Cooper is the perfect place to visit. Known as the Opal capital of the world, this mining town is located 850 kilometres north of the South Australian capital of Adelaide. With temperatures regularly reaching 40 degrees Celsius, Australia is a backpacker's paradise which flourishes with outdoor adventure. With many nationalities represented in the dusty town, you can expect great stories from the locals over a beer. With searing temperatures across its windswept plains, 80% of the locals live underground. Even the church is down in the dirt. Cooper has evolved into one of the most unique places in Australia and perhaps the world, and it attracts backpackers from all over wanting to experience the rural lifestyle. While visiting this distinctive town, make sure you visit Cooper premier tourist attractions, the Opal Caves. An original opal mine on Cooper main street, Yamuna Opal Mine and Museum has been converted into the town's largest single underground tourist attraction. Here you can take a guided tour where you can see for yourself how opals are cut and polished, and you can discover the history of outback Australia. You can even learn how to go mining for your own opals. These beautiful iridescent gemstones are Australia's national jewel, and you can take one home to show your friends. You can join the Down and Dirty Opal Digging Tour, where you'll have access to a working mine. A guide will supply you with a hard hat, torch and handpick, and will show you what to do to try and find an opal. If you're lucky enough, that is. For accommodation, look no further than Radika's Backpacker'S Inn, where you can relax with a cold beer and a game of pool after a day of working or exploring. Located right in the centre of town, the inn allows you to experience underground living the way the locals do. If the backpacking adventure of Cooper sounds like fun, book a flight. You can fly into Adelaide, South Australia's capital city, and then it's an 8-hour bus ride into the mining town. Make sure you pack for a hot, dusty climate and fill your pockets with the Australian dollar. With a great range of hostels, friendly people and a vibrant pub scene, it's easy to see why Ireland is one of Europe's top backpacking destinations. Due to its relaxed culture, old and established historic traditions, and of course its love of Guinness, Ireland is renowned for being a favourite with travellers. With a mild year-round climate and many well-established walking trails, you can experience Ireland's beautiful countryside close up. On arrival, you will be amazed at the two real gems of Ireland, the warmth of its people and the breathtaking beauty of its landscape. With a strong identity and a hold on tradition, this country welcomes tourists. The Irish countryside plays host to every shade of green imaginable and is complemented by rolling hills, fresh streams, forts, castles and churches that you're encouraged to explore and learn about. The best way to experience Ireland is by taking to the open road and venturing on foot. It is also home to rollicking pubs and Irish whiskey, and this may be why the people of the land are so friendly and see curious little men in green suits carrying pots of gold. Whatever the reason, Ireland is a lively place to visit. Because of the common language and availability of working holiday permits, Ireland is a popular spot for backpackers to find work. Music has always been at the centre of Irish community life, and pub music just adds to the warm atmosphere the country is famous for. If there's one thing the Irish know how to do, it's celebrate. Street festivals are a regular occurrence, and if you happen to be in Ireland for St Patrick's Day, the celebrations are like nothing you've ever seen before. If you like parades, crowds and chaos, Dublin's the place to be. You'll be spoilt for choice for things to see and do when you visit Ireland, and you can wander around and explore relatively cheaply. You can help the local economy by looking at local crafts, and you can admire the architecture as you wander down the local streets. Among the stops you should make while in the country is to the University of Dublin's library, the largest in Ireland. It is said that Ireland, once visited, is never forgotten, and for backpackers wanting to experience the wonders of this country, it appears to be true. So if Ireland is your ideal backpacking destination, why not visit your local travel agent and book a flight? Flying is the easiest way to reach the country, and peak season runs from July to September. And make sure you sample the Guinness on a Dublin pub crawl. If you're looking to backpack around a country with culture, travelling through Egypt may be perfect. With camels, the Sphinx, the Nile, the pyramids, Egypt is a country full of wonderful things to explore. Egypt is one of the oldest tourist destinations on Earth, and the tombs, monuments and temples are among favourites of tourists who visit. With so much history to examine, it's easy to get caught up in discovering local legends. They're one of the world's most treasured landmarks and a popular tourist destination for travellers to Egypt. Every year, thousands of visitors flock to see the pyramids near Cairo. The site contains the Great Pyramid of Khufu, the Pyramid of Khafre, and thousands of Old Kingdom tombs. You can also see the Great Sphinx Pyramid, one of Egypt's most famous images. Built over 4,500 years ago, the body of the Sphinx is 60 metres in length and 20 metres tall. The pyramid is built of soft sandstone and would have disappeared long ago had it not been buried for so long. While the pyramids are available for anyone to look at, in 2006 the country decided to restore their famed Sphinx. The statue remained open to the public during the restoration and is still the #1 tourist attraction in Egypt. For cheap accommodation, backpackers tend to stay in one area in the capital Cairo, and the hostels are generally located in the heart of town and are only a short walk away from popular tourist destinations like museums and restaurants. Another popular option for backpackers, which will not break the bank, is to stay in campsites. However, there are only a few official campsites across the country. It is very important for backpackers to have full medical insurance for the trip to Egypt, as there are quite a few health risks. You should be aware that you may be at risk from malaria and yellow fever. Cairo is one of the most distinctive cities in the world and is the most convenient base for seeing the Great Pyramids. Within Cairo, you'll find plenty of hakers eager to sell you transport to Giza, only 20 minutes from the city, where you will find these spectacular testaments to a formerly great civilization. Backpackers can now enjoy the Abu Simbel Temple after a pharaonically themed sound and light show was introduced to help attract more tourists to the temple. Here's some information if you're planning on backpacking through Egypt. There are daily flights connecting Cairo, Alexandria and Abu Simbel run by Egypt Air. And the Egyptian language is Arabic, but both English and French are widely spoken. While it seems like an unlikely backpacking destination, the natural charms of Ukraine are slowly shining once again, despite the tragedy of Chernobyl. Decades after the world's worst civil nuclear accident, the now closed nuclear power station and the ghost towns around it have become popular with backpackers wanting a history lesson. When a reactor at the Chernobyl nuclear plant in Ukraine blew up in 1986, it spewed radioactive material over a huge area and killed over 50 people, and will be responsible for many more deaths over the next decade. Agencies have been offering day trips to Chernobyl for $250 and the Chernobyl area is equipped with a 13-room hotel, buses and a winding potholed road to welcome tourists. You can wander around the abandoned towns that stand in the shadow of the reactors, or you can take a tour around the contaminated area. All you need is white masks and rubber boots, and you are set to go. On a short visit to Chernobyl, the danger from radiation is now no greater than from flying in an aircraft. To enter the 30-kilometre exclusion zone that was thrown around the nuclear plant, backpackers need permission from the government, which takes 5 days to process. So, if visiting the site of one of the world's most devastating nuclear disasters is what you're looking for on a holiday, try Chernobyl. International airlines fly direct to Ukraine's capital, Kiev. From there, buses are available to take you 200 kilometres into Chernobyl. While some travellers have a misconception about Australia, people picture a country populated by beer-swilling crocodile hunters. Nothing could be further from the truth. Australia is an incredibly cosmopolitan country whose sheer size offers backpackers years' worth of travel. The world-famous Sydney Harbour Bridge is a popular tourist destination and an Australian icon. You can even do the famous bridge climb, which allows you to climb 1,500 metres over the arch. Another iconic landmark is the Sydney Opera House, famous worldwide for its unique and wonderful shape and design. The location of many different events that often attract the attention of the nation, if not the world, the Sydney Opera House is a must-see on your Sydney holiday. Local parks are perfect for kicking around a football and relaxing on a blanket, or you could choose to wander through the endless promenades and sidewalk cafes. Popular with locals and tourists alike, Glebe Markets is packed full of stalls, mostly selling handmade crafts and clothes. Visiting Glebe Market has established itself as one of the trendy Saturday activities in Sydney, and when you finish shopping, you can hit the local cafes. With bars and nightclubs on most street corners, Sydney's nightlife is just one of the reasons backpackers enjoy their time here, chatting with locals and enjoying good quality Australian beer. Then, of course, there is always Bondi Beach, which is one of the most famous beaches in the country and offers all the sunning, surfing and swimming you'd expect from an Australian beach. Bondi is the most famous of Sydney's many beaches, with a magnificent sweep of sand and a never-ending series of waves. A popular destination for tourists, while they do have lifeguards patrolling the surf, remember to swim between the flags, especially if you're not used to the heavy waves. The foreshore is an eclectic mix of ice cream parlours, designer cafes and fish and chip shops. But if that's not your thing, maybe a bushwalk through nature will get you excited. The flying foxes that live in Sydney's Royal Botanic Gardens are an exotic part of Australia's unique fauna and are a drawcard for tourists. The Gardens is a popular picnic spot and features many plants native to this beautiful country. Basic and comfortable accommodation for backpackers is easy to find, especially around the city. If Sydney has all the elements you want for a fun and exciting holiday, flying is the easiest way to get there. Make sure you change your currency over to Australian dollars and don't leave without trying the Sydney Harbour Bridge climb. You won't regret it. When the epic Lord of the Rings movie trilogy was filmed in New Zealand, many tourists discovered this wonderful country for the first time. New Zealand is an excellent backpacking or budget travel destination, either as part of a larger Australia-based tour or on its own. The country's small stature means that travel costs can be kept to a minimum to allow you to really make the most of your budget. Natural sights range from thick forest reserves to beautiful sandy beaches to glacial mountains to volcanic geysers. Volcanoes have produced some of the main tourist attractions in New Zealand, and it's still one of the few places in the world with active geysers. 75% of the country's surface is covered by hills and mountains, so take a drive and absorb the beauty of these natural wonders. The mountain areas are high enough to receive permanent snow on the peaks during colder winters. Of course, a winter holiday in New Zealand isn't complete without skiing. Combined with scenery that never fails to make your jaw drop, winter in this country is something special. And if you'd rather take a look at the scenery from a different angle, why not try this? There is so much to do and experience in New Zealand that this may be the best way of sightseeing. With dramatic snow action to suit skiers and snowboarders of all abilities, New Zealand offers the ultimate winter break for tourists, and some backpackers' hostels are found close to the slopes for easy access to the ski runs. With some of the best slopes in the world, skiing and snowboarding is a popular pastime, and there are different levels for the amateur and more experienced boarders. Outdoor activities are what this country does best, and if being active is what you're looking for, look no further. New Zealand's coastal waters offer some of the best underwater diving in the world, and it's a great and inexpensive way to spend the day. Scuba diving has a huge following here, and you'll find dive shops in most cities and coastal resorts. Charter boats regularly head out to offshore islands and reefs, and operators provide all the equipment you need. There really is something for everyone in New Zealand. Water plays a big part in what tourists love about this country, whether it's surfing or something a little scarier. For extreme sports fans, you too can grab a bodyboard and make your way to the bottom of a waterfall. New Zealand attracts many tourists every year, and with activities like these, it's easy to see why. This beautiful country can be accessed by plane or by boat, and make sure you stock up on New Zealand dollars and pack for a temperate climate. Over recent years, Thailand has positioned itself as the backpacker's gem of Southeast Asia. The country offers everything from crowded markets and bazaars to ancient temples to busy nightlife, all set against some of the best scenery in the region. Elephant riding has become an integral part of all tourist visits to Thailand, and the animals can be ridden through local villages and surrounding forests. The type and length of rides varies. It can be a half-hour walk around an elephant village, or you can book a 3 or 5 day trek through the jungle in northern Thailand. The cost will generally be around $15 per person for an hour ride, or a full day trekking will usually cost about $60. With Thailand becoming increasingly popular with tourists, you will have no problem finding good, cheap accommodation. The YMCA has hostels in Thailand, and you'll find these as well as numerous small, cheap backpacker-style hostels scattered across the country. A country steeped in tradition, you too can join in the festivities. If you're lucky enough to be in Thailand for the annual Festival of Lights, you'll witness hundreds of flickering candles sent off to sail a river's current in a floating crown, seeking dreams and forgiveness for revellers. Thai people are very welcoming towards tourists and help make most people's travels in Thailand an absolute pleasure. Bangkok, the country's capital, is one of the most essential destinations in Thailand. It is easily the largest city in the country and is Thailand's centre of culture. A look at any calendar of festivals in Thailand will show it packed with all manner of events, from the local to the national. They celebrate important occasions relating to the country's great cultural heritage and traditional beliefs, and visitors are welcome to watch and even participate. The ancient Thai art of sword making and engraving lives on in Bangkok. For centuries, the people of this area have crafted some of the mightiest swords in the country, and the tradition continues today. Thailand is a backpacker's paradise and a country that readily welcomes tourists eager to learn about their culture. Peak season in Thailand runs from November to February, and Thai is the official language, although English is widely spoken. And don't forget to exchange your money for the Thailand currency, the baht. We hope you've enjoyed your journey backpacking around the world. Make sure you join us next time for another expedition on Explore.